everybody, and welcome to another episode of Drive Time. I'm Wayne, part of the Gray Beards crew. I just thought I'd waste another 10 minutes of your time on my drive home. A couple things interesting vehicle-wise. A friend of mine is looking at purchasing a new vehicle, and I appreciate them asking my opinion, and just like what everybody has one is an opinion, just like something else. Anyways, I got my microphone on today. I don't know how well it'll work. We'll see. Hopefully, not so much background noise. As you see, I'm still driving what I lovingly refer to as the Tahoe. Well, anyways, back to what I was talking about earlier. My friend is looking at buying a new vehicle, and I'm interested in what you guys think. He's looking at a couple different vehicles. He was looking at a Honda Pilot or a Honda CR-V. I think he's looking more towards the Pilot, and he also went and looked at a Hyundai. I'm not a big fan of Hyundais or Kias personally. Sure, warranty is just, to me, is about as good as a piece of paper they wrote it on. I'll go and elaborate more on my warranty issues I'm having with one of my vehicles. But I told him, I said you have to really look at what you want out of the vehicle. And sure, all the little gingerbread creature comforts, that they have on vehicles today, which are nice, don't get me wrong, as long as they're working. Until they quit working and everybody's complaining. The crash, adaptive cruise, those kind of things are all nice until they don't work. And then typically those are dealer repair items because nobody else works on them, and so on and so forth. But I told him, I said, you should. My daughter recently bought a vehicle, and it was a hybrid, and she loves it, and it's her first new vehicle that she bought on her own. And I told her, I said, you should look at the hybrid, because you got to look at, like, what are you going to drive it the most as? A commuter? Is it going to be, mostly a highway? Do you want good fuel mileage? Obviously, reliability is in there. And he was worried about the battery, and that's a fair concern. They're expensive to replace. I said, keep in mind on the hybrids, they don't have the same battery capacity or cost as a total electric vehicle. Those are expensive when those batteries go bad. And I said most of them have a fairly decent warranty on the batteries, even for the hybrids, because they're a smaller battery. That's what I think, anyways. I told him, I said, you should look at them. They get fairly good mileage. This will be primarily driven by his wife, from what I understand, and she does it more around town. They do want to take it on road trips, and I said, well, that's fine. They'll do just fine on a road trip. These are not plug-in hybrid. They're regenerative. When the battery's low, the ICE or internal combustion engine, the gasoline engine, will operate the vehicle just like any other vehicle. So I don't know what he's going to do. I'd like to know your opinion, what you think in the comments, if you would be so kind, and what you think. Hybrid, not hybrid, electric vehicles. He's not into wanting to deal with that. But I'm still dealing with a warranty on my Dodge Caliber. They still haven't got a transmission for it. It's been, middle of February. I think I dropped it off in June or July of last year. And they keep, it's on transmission's on back order, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I bought that car brand new in 2008. It was primarily for my daughter who was going to college. It was a fairly inexpensive car. It now has 2 200 and some thousand miles on it. I can't remember if it was 220, 230, somewhere in there. And it needs another transmission. And keep in mind that the original transmission that came with the car was replaced under warranty at about 80, I think it had around 80,000 miles on it, 80 some thousand. And the car still worked, it just whined. It was just this constant, you know, and it was slipping. And while this one was kind of doing the same thing, not as severe as the original one, the second one they put in, and it had to have about 100, over 100 some thousand miles on it, the second transmission. So now we're waiting on a third, but you know, it's lifetime warranty. The dealer, you know, the manufacturer warranted it for as long as I or my wife owned it. It's just crazy. Why? So, you know, the vehicle is older. They didn't expect me to keep it for, what is it, 2008 to, well, 2025 now. What is that, 17 years? Go figure. Who keeps a vehicle that long? It's crazy. I guess I'm a lunatic. Anyways, nothing too much else. We did go on a trip to Maggie Valley. Took the old girl here. She did flawlessly. I did have to do some work to it. I was getting the rotors on it, their original rotors, 178,000 miles on it. And I put new front rotors on it, while the back ones need to be replaced as well. Sure, I could probably go and have them turned, but they end up, if they're warped now, they'll end up warping even worse then. So some of those mountains, I was really getting it. You can feel it in the back vehicle when you'd have to coming down the mountain roads there. I could really feel it. Like right now, if you stop right now, you wouldn't know they had them. But once they heat up, they really just get bad. So I mean, for me, it's not a big deal. The car, this truck stops. But I did find out when I was doing it, I jacked up the right front wheel, and it had a little play in it. And I was like, I mean, it was quite a bit of play. And I had noticed a little bit of a noise coming from the front end. And it was suspect. So I wasn't totally surprised, but I was surprised about the amount of play in the wheel, and you know. So I bit the bullet, bought two new hubs, and I installed them myself. They were about $160 a piece, and you know, you could get cheaper ones for about I think they were about 110. I went a little bit, kind of middle of the road. AC Delco hubs were $300 and some a piece, and I was like, I'm not spending that. These got a good rating. I got them at the O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and they had them in stock. Took me about, with going to get the parts, waiting for the parts to come to the store. They gave me a time to pick them up. I think it took me a total like 4 hours to do. And that's installing the new rotors. And if you've never done a hub replacement on a 06 Chevrolet four-wheel drive, they can be a bear. Luckily for me, we live in a fairly rust-free environment. This vehicle's been down here in the South its entire life, so most of the hardware looked like new, on a 19-year-old vehicle with 178,000 miles. So I'm very fortunate. Anyways, I wasted enough of your time. Let me know down in the comments, you know, your experience with hybrid vehicles, if you have any, what you think about them, and what do you think about the warranties. I think they're nice to have. They'll give you a little peace of mind, but that's about it. So, but that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and the sun has shown its face today. Have a good one.